Hi. So this post is gonna just be about me kind of rambling. So you don't have to watch if you don't want to. Tommy probably won't be a part of this unless he gets fussy over there, but he's currently playing peacefully. So we're just gonna see how far I can get without him needing attention. Um, so the reason for this post is I've been struggling a little bit of I'm not sure if it's postpartum or if it's more mourning my pregnancy a little. And I know that sounds weird because I was pregnant and my baby lived and like I shouldn't feel that way, I guess. But I feel like it's something that a lot of people do feel after giving birth to a premature baby. It's mourning the end of the pregnancy and kind of things that you didn't get to experience like a lot of other people who got to have a full-term baby. And before I go any further, I want to say, obviously, I wouldn't wish this feeling upon anyone. I'm so happy for the people who can have full-term babies. I feel like that's amazing. And, and even some full-time babies still need help and still have medical issues, and I understand that. So, but this post is more about having a premature baby and kind of mourning that third trimester that you don't get to experience, or even more than that. Some people have babies really early called micro-preemies, and it's like half of their pregnancy is gone. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is I've been struggling with it the last couple weeks, and I felt like I was the only person going through it. I felt like I was like weird. Like, why do I care about that stuff? Like, people complain about their third trimester. Why am I arguing the fact that I didn't get to deal with all that? And that's why I'm making this post, because I felt so alone. And while I was feeling alone, I talked to two of my girlfriends who also had premature babies, and they understood. It was like, wow, like, it's not just me. And even for them, it was like, it's not just me. So I definitely feel like it's something that a lot of people feel when they have a premature baby, and it just doesn't get talked about. So that's why I'm making this post. And that was a really long introduction, but I was just kind of trying to explain what this post is going to be about, and why I think it's important to post it. So with that said, we'll go into what I mean when I say mourning my pregnancy. Third trimester, a lot of people say, like, they can't sleep, they're so uncomfortable, their belly's so huge, they can't find a comfortable position, stretch marks, back pain, all this kind of stuff. Mind you, I had back pain my second trimester, so I get it. It's not enjoyable. But when you have a premature baby, you think of every possible thing you could have done differently to avoid having a premature baby. Not that I don't love my son. I love him to pieces. I'm so happy he's okay. And, like, it is what it is. We had a premature baby, and now it's our life. And that's okay. Like, I wouldn't trade him for anything. But it's definitely sad. So when people complain about their third trimester, I get it. Like, I'm sure it's rough. I'm sure it's not enjoyable. And I get that. But I would die to have that. I would do anything in my power to have more stretch marks, to have more back pain, to not be able to get comfortable at night, than have to have my baby in the hospital and struggling to breathe and struggling to grow. Like, it's not a fun situation. And I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. And like I said before, it's not that I feel like those people just don't get it, but like, they don't. Like, having a preemie, you will never understand completely unless you have one. And that's with anything. That's with IVF. That's with any sort of infertility. Like, nobody gets it unless they've been there, which is fine. It's totally fine. But the struggle is, like, when people complain to you and you're just like, I mean, I feel for you, but I'm not the right person to talk to because I didn't get to experience that. And it makes you sad. It makes you really, really, really sad. And honestly, it makes you mad. Like, you try not to get frustrated with people because they don't understand and they don't know, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. Some people have really long NICU stays. Some people even have 38 or 39-week babies and they still need to be in the hospital. And honestly, for us with Tommy's heart, either way, he would have had a hospital stay. So no matter what, he would not have come home with us. But that's the biggest thing too that people kind of take for granted with having a full-time baby is that first picture you get to take of them with a really cute outfit and say, congratulations, welcome to the world, that kind of thing. Like, I mean, yeah, you get to take a picture, but most likely they have a CPAP machine or a ventilator down their throat. Or for us, we couldn't put clothes on Tommy until he was like 5 weeks old, 6 weeks old. So, I mean, that's a small thing in the grand scheme of things, but it's something that, like, we think about when you have a premature baby. Like, I didn't get to have that. And it's sad. Another thing is the feeling of guilt. Like, there was something you could have done to prevent it. And I think a lot of the time, probably like 9 out of 10 times, there's nothing. There's nothing you could have done to prevent it. It just, sometimes it's unexplained. I have a friend who had an unexplained baby early. Twins or multiples is a big reason why they're born early because that's kind of just more common. But it's still sad. It still hurts emotionally. It's still upsetting. It's a whole process. And the thing that I've been struggling with more recently is Tommy's almost 6 months old, and he's been out of the hospital for almost 3 months now. Like, why am I just now feeling this? Why am I just now getting sad about things that I missed out on? And I think part of it is having a premature baby is a form of loss. It has been determined that it is a form of loss. So while he was in the hospital, I was so worried about, like, making sure he's okay and getting his heart procedure and then getting his G-tube and then getting another heart procedure that I never really had a chance to sit down and, like, feel sad. Like, I never had a chance. I was always stressing or worrying about something else that I never had a chance to really be upset about that particular instance. Another thing that you miss out on is maternity pictures. I mean, some people get lucky and they just happen to do it in the second trimester, but we never got maternity pictures. I only have a couple pictures of my belly. TJ never really got to feel him kick because when he kicked me all day long, but when he finally got to the point where you could feel it outside of my belly, TJ was always at work or just wasn't right next to me and didn't feel it. So little things like that, those masks that you do on your belly to, like, create the cast of what your belly look like, you don't get to do that. It's really hard. I have a list here. Sorry if I keep looking down. I, like, wrote down things that I feel and to kind of keep me on track. Another thing is breastfeeding. Sometimes if your baby is far enough along, you can breastfeed them, but the majority of preemie moms have to pump if you're going to go breastfeeding route. If you go formula, that's totally fine. I mean, shoot, Tommy's formula fed now. So, but I pumped for 7 weeks, every day, every 2 hours. My father-in-law laughed because he got so used to the sound of my pump. But, like, I never got the skin-on-skin interaction with him. So when he was first born, I don't remember the first 24 hours of his life. And that's been really hard for me. But the biggest thing is, like, breastfeeding is such an emotional, physical connection between the mom and the baby that I didn't get to have. So at 7 weeks, my supply had gone down. I was exhausted. I was stressing out. Our case is a little bit different. My supply dropped when his first procedure got canceled, but it was just, pumping is hard. Pumping hurts badly. it takes away from the beauty of breastfeeding. And I didn't get to enjoy that. So I wanted so badly to. I wanted to have that connection with him, but I couldn't hold him. I wasn't allowed to. And also that kind of affected TJ and I as well. I mean, I hate to say it, but the mom, when the baby comes out, the mom already has a connection to that baby because the baby's growing inside of you. You feel it, you know it, that baby is yours. The dads don't experience that. So on top of not experiencing that, and some dads have a hard time connecting after the baby's born, it was even harder because we couldn't hold him. So I got frustrated because I didn't feel like TJ cared. But it wasn't that he didn't care. It was just he couldn't form a connection to him for multiple reasons. More so because Tommy had to have a heart procedure and he didn't want to get close and then have something happen, which is completely understandable. But for me, I felt like he just didn't care, which was far from the truth, and I know that. But it's just a feeling. Like, it's a sad feeling, and it's hard on our marriage. It's hard, or not so much anymore, but it was hard on our marriage. We had a lot of discussions about it. Hold on, Tommy's screaming. Okay, sorry. Another thing that sounds silly, and people are like, you should be thankful. I didn't get to experience labor. I have no idea what labor feels like. I have no idea what it feels like to have my water break. I have no idea. I had a seizure, and I had an emergency C-section. And I remember hearing, you'll feel some pressure, and I heard a little baby cry, and then I don't remember anything for 24 hours. I have no idea what happened. I mean, I know now because TJ told me, but I didn't get to see Tommy for 24 hours until I woke up and I was stable enough to go upstairs to the NICU. I had to scrub my hands for 3 minutes long, be introduced to nurses who said, hi, this is my name, and I'm taking care of your baby today. And honestly, like, all I wanted to say is, like, I want to take care of my baby. Show me where he is, and I want to take care of him. But I couldn't. Something that was really hard, and again, like, I feel like people just kind of take for granted, and I wish I had this, was being able to just pick your baby up whenever you wanted and hug them and hold them and do whatever the hell you wanted with them. In the NICU, you have times that you can touch your baby. And even then, like, they're short times. You can change the diaper, you can take their temperature, and then you close the isolate doors, and you can't touch them again for another 3 hours. So, I mean, when he was crying, all I wanted to do was hold him, but I couldn't. I held him once when he was 5 days old, and then I didn't hold him again until he was 6 weeks old. Sorry. So, I mean, there's so many things that you miss out on and you just take for granted, and, like, I just want so bad to know that if I was to get pregnant again, I won't have to deal with this again. Like I said, not that I don't love my son. I love him more than life itself. But I just want to know that my next pregnancy, I can enjoy the entire pregnancy. And I can enjoy not being able to sleep. And I can enjoy pushing out a baby that's going to hurt like hell, and I'm going to cry, and I might even poop. Like, you never know. But, like, I want that. I want to remember having my baby. I want to remember everything. And I don't. And that's one thing that I'm really struggling with still, is that I don't remember him being born. And, I mean, it was a scary situation, and people understand that, like, I shouldn't remember. I was put under magnesium right away. But it's really hard. It wasn't a beautiful experience for me. It wasn't an amazingly, I mean, it wasn't amazing to see him the first time I saw him. It was scary. He had a mask on his face, CPAP machine, but it looked like a giant mask on his face. He had wires all over him. It wasn't a beautiful experience. And getting pregnant wasn't a beautiful experience. So there's just so many things that you just don't think about and you don't realize, and things that just aren't talked about. But it's sad and it's hard. So next time you see a preemie mom, just give her a hug. You don't even have to say anything, just give her a hug. Like, a lot of people don't like to talk about it. A lot of people are very just, I'm going to handle this on my own. And that's, I think, where postpartum starts, is just not talking about it. But for me personally, like, writing about it or talking about it to friends or talking about it to, like, Peter, it helps me. It helps me know that I'm not alone. It helps me know that maybe this video will go to other moms and they will understand, and it'll make them feel better to know that they're also not alone. It's a whole process. Having a preemie is a whole process. And it's hard. And it does get better. It really does. It gets better, and things are better at the end, and you just love that baby. But there are a lot of hard times. So if you're in the middle of it, just keep going. Take one day at a time. It's okay to cry. I cried so many nights. I remember one night when I was first able to come home, and I woke up freaking out that I hadn't felt him tick. And then I remembered that he wasn't in me anymore, but he wasn't home either. So it's hard, and you'll get through it. And for the people who haven't been there, just really appreciate the time that you have with your babies. Really appreciate your healthy babies. Like, it is so important, and it's so important to know that you have people to talk to. So I really hope this helps some moms, and I really hope this kind of helps other people who don't quite know what to say and don't quite understand how certain people feel when they have a hard time. So I hope this helps. And if you made it through all this and you listened to me babble and just talk to myself, I really appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.